Hello, Tatiana and Joel. Here's your sewer scope from this afternoon's inspection. That's me in the utility room, obviously. They're the utilities. Just kind of giving you a little orientation, letting you know that I'm actually in your house. There's that floor clean out that I had pointed out. That's my camera cable. You never want your cable to turn back on itself, especially further on down the line. That was an easy fix. I just had to kind of just pull it back. But now I'm just kind of jamming my arm down the clean outs to try to gently push the camera head in the right direction so it doesn't double back on itself. So give me a second. It'll get going here in just a moment, right about now. There we go. And then we're gone. We're heading on down the line. Cast iron, uh, typical cast iron in that it tends to corrode, it tends to get coarse and rough on the inside, and it tends to catch stuff. Now, just because of that coarseness, right? Anything that's flowing down the pipe, and you can see it at the bottom of the line, whether it's organic matter or uh, cooking fats, bacon grease, whatever, it's going to accumulate on the bottom of the pipe over time. My guess is that this pipe has not been addressed in a really long time. So first order of business is simple. It's have the pipe cleaned. Uh, to give away the overall on this, there's no damage in the pipe. You got a little bit of root growth coming at the end of the pipe, but we'll talk about that once we make a transition to a different material. Um, but the biggest thing is just for good upkeep and maintenance, have the pipe cleaned. And for the cast iron, the buildup that you see at the bottom, that doesn't happen overnight or within, a couple of months. That's years and years and years of accumulation. So you get it cleaned, and the cast iron section, at the very least, is good to go for the next. My guess is probably 8 to 10 years. Little kind of a funky connection here, a little bit of an offset there at the top of the pipe. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I don't foresee that it would be a major issue, but potentially something to keep an eye on. Again, I don't think it's something that needs to be corrected at all. But again, the biggest thing is just descaling the pipe, which is getting rid of the crusty corrosion in the pipe, and then obviously the buildup at the bottom of the line. A little bit of root growth right there at the top. This is a great indicator that we're going from one material to the next. We're going to switch from cast iron into vitrified clay pipe, which is really normal in our area. I mean, I've got it in my house, and I live literally a mile away. Yeah, very, very common. We'll get a better view in a moment here. We'll get a little bit better lighting, so you can see a little bit more. Kind of the silvery stuff towards the top of the pipe, that's cobwebs, basically spider webs. A little bit of root growth there. On your bottom left side, that may be a hairline crack, but it also is more likely it's just a root tendril. And this is the city connection. So pretty much a nice straight shot. Not a lot of twists and turns. We're out, roughly 50 feet or so. So all in all, not too bad. The other positive is, again, if the cast iron section hasn't been addressed in decades, then potentially your root growth, the propagation of roots in your pipe is minimal, right? Because they're not going to just bypass the clay or the cast iron and go right to the clay and clean that and get rid of the roots. They would clean the whole pipe from start to finish. So my guess is that roots are not a big issue. Now, what I would do is, again, have the pipe cleaned, and then maybe just for peace of mind, come back in another 2 or so years and see what it looks like. See if you do have any new root growth coming in. But beyond that, it's all in all, it's pretty good. Read through my written report and reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always happy to be a resource.